Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. The Nigerians agitating for self-determination and also intervention of United Nations in the situation of the country did not fail in their promise as they came together strongly to speak out to UN this time around from another corner about the situation of things in Nigeria. Don't forget that today was the set day for Buharist to, address UN members, and he did it, and we already have heard the outcome and some of the things that he had presented. But then there were still some other Nigerians who were out there at the headquarters to make true their promise, and they did it. And we're going to be looking at what had happened. You're going to see a few clips, pointing to the fact that it actually happened. But shockingly, there were also some persons who came in there to say what we need is one nation and all of that. We're going to give you full details of the news and also the reactions of Nigerians in respect to that before we go into further discussion. But before we do that, if you've not subscribed to our channel, just hit the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you get notification anytime we publish our videos. All right, according to the news, the Yoruba Nation, Middle Belt and Biafra Agitators staged a grand protest on Friday, saying the silence of the United Nations on the self-determination effort of Nigerians was no longer golden. Meanwhile, some people also gathered themselves to stage a counter-protest at the headquarters of the United Nations as President Muhammadu Buhari addressed the UN General Assembly. While the agitators of Yoruba Nation and Biafra continued their protests, the other groups under One Nation also held theirs. The Yoruba Nation and Biafra agitator earlier resumed their protests at the headquarters of the United Nations before moving to the Nigerian embassy. They held placards bearing various inscriptions and chanting UN do something, your silence is killing us, and helped Nigerians to save lives among others. One of the protesters, identified as TJ, said, "We want them to know what Nigeria is all about. UN needs to intervene to rescue the situation." Another protester, Omoba, added that the protest is to show that people are being oppressed in Nigeria. According to him, he said, "This is for all that are oppressed. Hunger on the street of Nigeria, those who want to live a humane lifestyle." Meanwhile, the One Nigerian group, on the other hand, held placards to promote the activities of Buhari and preaching unity in Nigeria. Wow. You can see the clip there. Well, it's good for us to also look at some of the reactions of Nigerians, because a lot of people, considering the silence of UN, have also reacted. Some say it has to do with international politics, and some also believe that the agitators are not following the right process to present their request. But however, let's just look at what Nigerians have to say. This one says, "Nigeria will not dissolve because of petty Sahelian invaders. If you were so stoned to make an invader cattle header president in your native land, you deserve everything he sends your way. Yes, it's frustrating, but we all hopefully have learnt our lesson in Yoruba and in Yoruba land. Never, ever, under no circumstances, divert your loyalty and vote to the Arabist North. We are paying the price for impotent vice president post-reward." Now one says in Nigeria, they don't allow protests, yet they have the courage to hire a crowd to counter a legitimate demand for a referendum. It is rather very sad. Another person here says, "These things does not work like this. It is high time our people understand that there is a process through which we can secure the response of UN." This one said, "The Yoruba Nation agitators are shameless people. With all that this government has done for you in your area and appointment, it is we the Igbos that are supposed to be complaining and not you people. You are ungrateful." Another person here said, "This is a shameless government I have ever seen doing everything to cover the atrocities, hiring people to counter the Yoruba nation protest. There is no program, there's no problem. It's the work of liars and his allies. God will surely put them to shame. Another person here says, I prefer Igbo to leave Nigeria, the selfish nation. Another person says, why do we have people insulting us because we want to leave the country? I do not know what is going on, but I'm so sure that things are going to get better sooner than we expect. This one says, Biafra Agitator isn't in front of Nigerian embassy in New York. Only Yoruba Agitator. Confirm your report before you go ahead with it. And another person here says, I don't blame those still supporting this administration. In my epic government, can you imagine people are dying, suffering every day in this country? UN, please do something. Those supporting this government have been bribed. So many to talk about, so many things Nigerians are saying. But let's look at the situation of things in the country and the way out. Like someone said, it's important that during the period of election, we should think twice before we vote. Because right now, very little can be done in a situation like this for us to be salvaged. Don't forget that Nigeria, number one, is a sovereign nation. Yes, going to UN, the only thing is that possibly they may query him depending on and that query is not going to be something that will be generally known. Just some countries will go in if they left, if they do not want to hurt the president. They'll just tell him, well, we can help you in this area. We can help you in this area. Don't forget that during the analysis, during the address, President Muhammadu Buhari was demanding for cancellation. That's one of the things he discussed with him, cancellation of Nigerian debt and all of that. So it's difficult for you to be able to break in here. Nigeria is a sovereign nation, and whatever you are putting ahead must be documented. And possibly, I think it's going to be a case of meeting with one of the member countries and trying to see how you can pass through them to secure the interest of the agitators in the UN. But just chanting and crying and all of that, I don't think it's really going to yield that expected result. Personally, I was thinking that the Yoruba agitators have gone as far as meeting with the UN executive and possibly demanding for a time to speak for Yoruba nation. But shockingly, it didn't happen like that. It's just a case of standing outside and chanting and all of that. Some people may not even care about what is going on because some of them just believe that these are people who want to disrupt the peace of their own country. And don't forget that there was a counter one that came. But however, it's just good for us to be hopeful and possibly meet with the executives of UN and ask them what is the ideal way that we must follow to ensure we get your hearing, to ensure we get something, from you guys. What are we supposed to do? Because just trying everything is not really reasonable. It's better to gather together, send some representative, let them go and secure this from the UN. I like